students, in the previous lecture we are talking about the reflections. Okay, now in this lecture 3 we are discussing about the best things that is give us the 100% reflection, means that is mirror. Okay, so in this lecture we are talking about the mirrors. Okay, how many types of mirrors and the important terms which are required to define the reflection phenomenon by the mirror. Okay, so that terms if we study properly, then we can understand the lens formula as well as the mirror formula. Okay, so let's see. First of all, we are talking about what is the mirror. Okay, so mirror is a plain shining surface which working as a perfect reflector. Okay, so whenever you are incident any kind of light, એટલે કે કોઈપણ ટાઈપની તમે એની પર લાઇટ ઇન્સિડન્ટ કરશો અંદર. Okay, so all the lights getting most probably reflected from its surface. Okay, so mirror is give the almost 100% reflection from its surface compared to the others. Okay, so here we are taking about the idea how many types of mirror are there. Okay, so mirror are classified based on the shape. That is, first is the plane mirror and second one is the spherical mirror. Now plane mirror into day-to-day life, we are seeing our face, we are rubbing your hair. Okay, so all things what for that we are using whatever the mirror, that is the what plane mirror. Okay, and the second mirror is called the spherical mirror. In the car, okay, in the saloons cabin, whatever types of mirror are there are somewhat curved mirror. Okay, and that curved mirror are considered as a generally as the spherical mirror. Now this spherical mirror are again classified into the two parts based on the which part you are making its reflector. Okay, એનો કયો પાર્ટ તમે રિફ્લેક્ટિંગ બનાવો છો એના બેઝ પર શું થાય છે, બે ક્લાસિફિકેશન્સ પડે છે અંદર. First is the concave and another is the convex. Now there is one question arises that why they are called the spherical. Sphere ક્યાંથી આવે અહીંયા આગળ, બરાબર? So try to understand that suppose you have the plastic ball. Okay, so it having only surface but inside there is nothing. Okay, if you keep a slice, then you are getting such this kind of shape. Okay, if you are making outer part what reflecting, then it will become convex. Vex stands for outside. Okay, so it is called the convex and this is the symbol of the convex mirror. Okay, so whenever you are drawing, so outer part is reflecting, dash line short is not reflecting part. Okay, and the same thing if you keeping inside part as a reflecting surface, okay, and another is a rough surface, then at that time it is called the concave mirror. Okay, so concave mirror symbolically represented by this, and you have already taught in the 8th standard as well as the 10th standard how to draw and what types of mirror. Okay, so why they are spherical mirror? Because from the sphere they are cutting, and that cutting part you have to make either outside or inside part as the reflecting surface. Based on that spherical mirror are called the concave and convex. Okay, now whenever we are talking about the mirror, okay, so mirror gives you the main phenomenon of the light, that is reflection. Okay, but whenever we are talking about a plane mirror as well as the spherical mirror, in the different cases you are getting the different pattern of image. Okay, somewhat case you are getting the same size of image, in the somewhat cases smaller, bigger, inverted, real. Okay, so we have to understand all the parts together. For that we have to understand the mirror based on this related term. Okay, so mirror and its phenomenon can be explained only after that we are learning this definition. Okay, so we are talking about the term of definition for the mirror reflection. Otherwise mirror માટે જે important terms છે જે necessary જાણવી આપણે જાણવાનું try કરીએ અંદર. Okay, first term is called the pole. બરાબર, આપણે ઘણીવાર કહેતા રહી pole ખોલ દઈશ, that is the same word pole. Okay, the pole of the mirror is what? You are preparing the mirror and the mirror having the somewhat center point or not. Okay, so that's suppose I understand assume that this one is the mirror. So from the vertical and from the horizontal, this one going to be center point. So that center point is considered as the pole of the given mirror. Understand? Okay, so pole is nothing but it's a what? Center of the mirror. Okay, and note that the pole is lies on the surface of the mirror. એટલે કે પોલ ક્યાં હોય છે? મિરર પર હોય છે, મિરરની સરફેસ પર હોય છે અંદર. Okay, આટલો પોઈન્ટ ક્લિયર થઈ ગયો. And whenever you have to represent symbolically the pole, so it will be represented by the capital P. Understood? Next thing is called the radius of curvature and the center of curvature. Okay, मैं तुमने अपने थोड़ी बार पहले જ बात कही that the convex and concave are generally called as the spherical mirror. Means from the sphere you are cutting down, and from cutted part you are preparing the either concave otherwise the convex. Okay, so whenever you are preparing such curved mirror, okay, so from whatever the sphere they have prepared, okay, that sphere having this center point as well as that sphere having this somewhat radius or not. Okay, so whatever the mirror which are making from this sphere, that sphere having the center is called the center of curvature. Okay, and that sphere from which the mirror we are formed, barabar. So whatever the radius of that sphere is called the curvature, radius of curvature. Radius of curvature initial symbol is R, so it is represented by capital R, and center of curvature is represented by the capital C symbol. Understood? Suppose you have this concave mirror. Okay, so concave mirror, if you continue this line and prepare the whole circle, then you will get the center or not. So that center is called the center of curvature. Okay, and the radius of curvature is what? From the center to the surface point. That distance we consider as the radius. So this is called the what? Radius of curvature. Same for the convex mirror. Okay, so convex having this one. So if you continue the circle, then you are getting the center here, and this one is called the what? It's radius of curvature. So now you clear about the what is radius of curvature and the center of. So whenever definition is asked, what you have to write down? The sphere from which the lens mirror are the sphere from which the mirrors are made. That sphere having the whatever radius is called the radius of curvature, and the center is called the center of curvature. Understood? And note that the center of curvature, okay, it's outside the mirror. Okay, here whatever the point you are seeing, that is called the pole, because from that you are getting the center point. This is pole, but the C is what? Outside the mirror. In the both case you can see that C is outside the mirror. Okay, now third one is principal axis. Okay, in our school there is a principal, and this is the principal axis. So what is the principal axis? It's an axis. The axis is generally what? It's a line. Okay, so it's an imaginary line. What? It is the imaginary line which passing through the. હવે કોઈ બી લાઈન હોય તો એ કોઈ પોઈન્ટ્સ માંથી પાસ થવાની. So from which point it is passed? P and C. Now what is P? P means pole. Okay, and C means what? Center of curvature. So principal axis is the imaginary line that is passing from the pole and the center of curvature of the given mirror. Okay, so that is we consider that axis is called the what? Principal axis. Okay, so now you are getting about the principal axis. Okay, now next the tough definition of this part is principal focus. Okay, principal focus. Focus means what? આપણે ઘણી વાર સ્ટડી કરતા હતા કે ફોકસ કરો, ટીચરે ધ્યાન આપો. Okay, so focus means what? The rays must be focused at the some point, meet at one point. So whatever a point that we consider principal focus, okay, and the focus having the F, so that symbol is capital F. Okay, so principal focus is a point which is represented by capital F. Now how can we define it? Before we define, we understand the phenomenon for that. Okay, so consider this a concave mirror. Okay, concave, cave means ખાડો, બરાબર, વેલી કહેવાય. ક્લિયર? એટલે આપણે એને concave કહે છે. એટલે એનો રિફ્લેક્ટિંગ પાર્ટ કેવો હશે? ઇનર હશે, અને back stands for outside. બરાબર, એટલે એનો પાર્ટ કેવો લેવાશે? આઉટર પાર્ટ શાઇનિંગ કહેવાય. So whenever you are incident the parallel rays on this concave mirror, okay, so after the reflection, what? After the reflection, these parallel rays all are going in the different direction, yes, but after the reflection they are meet at a one point on the principal axis. Understood or not? This is the natural thing, you have to accept it. In the mirror, any kind of concave, any kind of convex, you will find this phenomenon. If you incident the parallel ray, after the reflection, they always intersect with each other, all the rays, okay, at the one point, and that point we are considered as the principal focus. Okay, in the same way for the convex mirror, okay, in the convex mirror, your incident, the parallels, they are going in this direction. Okay, so in this way you are seeing that this ray never intersect at the front line. Okay, but if you are extending in the backward direction, means behind the mirror, then you will definitely find the one common intersecting point, all of this line in the backward side, and here this point will become the principal focus for the what? Convex mirror. Okay, so now how can we define the principal focus of the given mirror? Okay, so definition is that when the parallel beam of light, what? When the parallel beam of light is incident, barabar, on the mirror you can take any, okay, so when the parallel beam of light incident on the mirror, okay, after the reflection, what? After the reflection, if they are directly meet, what? If they directly meet at a point, barabar, at a point after the reflection, then that in case of the what? Concave mirror, you have to specify that, okay, they are directly meet, okay, in case of the concave mirror. Otherwise they are appear to meet. Why here we are specifying the appear to meet? Because actually they are not meet, but if we extending in the backward side, okay, so they are seen that they are meeting. Understood or not? So in the case of the concave mirror, convex mirror, they are appear to meet after the reflection. Okay, so that point will become the principal focus. Okay, so now we again revise the definition. What is the definition? When the parallel beam of light is incident on a concave, otherwise the when the parallel beam of light incident on the mirror, then after the reflection, if they are meet in the case of concave, if they are directly meet, otherwise they meet in the case of concave mirror, and if they are appear to meet in case of the convex mirror, that point is considered as the principal focus of the respective mirror. Understood? If the parallel beam of light is incident okay, on the mirror, and after the reflection, if they are directly meet in the case of concave and appear to meet in the case of convex, then that point what is called the principal focus of the point. Understood? Here you can see that the principal focus for the concave mirror you are getting in front of the mirror. Okay, while in case of the convex mirror you are getting behind the mirror. Understood? Next point is called the focal length. Okay, so focal length is represented by again f, but here we are already using the capital F, so we have given as a small f, and we know that the length is always specified in the smaller letter. Okay, so what is its a length? So it will be distance. So distance between what? It's a distance between P and F. P stands for pole and F stands for principal focus. That's why it is called the focal length. So the distance between pole and the focal point, otherwise the principal focus, is sometimes called the focal point also. Okay, so principal focus, then it is considered as the focal length. Okay, and the sixth point, which is not important at all, but we have to get the definitions in our mind, that is aperture and the focal point. Now what is the aperture? Aperture in a simple form, it is called the face of the mirror. Okay, aperture means in a simple language what? It is the face of the mirror. For example, see, assume that this one is the mirror. Okay, so this to this line, if you join the top edge to the bottom edge, then whatever this line is considered as the what? Aperture. But in some books, there is also given definition that this is the line, okay, and here it's pole. So distance between pole to this line, distance between this pole to line, okay, that distance is considered as the aperture. Okay, so in your textbook, whatever the definition suggested, that definition you have to write down for the aperture. In simple language, you have to assume that the aperture is nothing but it is the what? It's the face of the mirror. Okay, and the last point is called the focal plane. Now what is the focal plane? Plane means one kind of sheet. Okay, here is the mirror and you have to, this is the mirror, and here you assume that there is a focal point is here. Okay, now assume that this is the thin sheet. Okay, if you are placing this in a such a way that the mirror face and the sheet face is front to front, साम सामे हो अंदर, बराबर, and this sheet is placed on the principal focus. At that time, this plane, sheet mean plane, is considered as the focal point because we are placing it on the principal focus point. Okay, so that's why it is called the focal point. These two definitions are not important for the mathematical analysis of this mirror. Okay, but the definition is given. That's why we have to take in consider. Okay, so in this part we are considering all about the types of mirror and the importance required for the mirror phenomena. Okay, in the next lecture we are learning the sign conversion and the some shortcut trick to recall the sign conversion. Okay, till that, okay, thank you, bye.